All right, I feel like I have a very busy life because we've got a lot going on. So in this video, I'm just gonna show you exactly what it is that is making our lives so busy. So first of all, we've got all these quail in here. I've got to get that all cleaned up today, which is not gonna take very much. Here, this is where the fish are at. Their water is very nasty, but they have got to be moved outside into the pond. Our greenhouse is a mess. Got lots and lots of different kinds of projects going on in here. And so we've got to get this all organized and get all of our garden boxes put together so that we can actually start replanting a lot of the plants that we have in here. And it looks like the 2 chicks that I separated are outside of their little makeshift thing. I don't know how long they've been out, but I guess they're doing just fine. And these guys are going crazy. They are so ready, making a mess of everything. They are just so ready to get out and not be in here anymore. I think what I'm gonna do is actually let them roam the greenhouse so they can eat all the weeds. And so far, I'm pretty sure they're all safe for them to eat. But yeah, we've got a million weeds in here that need to be gobbled up instead of thrown out. So I don't know when we're gonna do that, maybe in the next day or 2, or maybe I'll do it today, but we'll see. What are you guys doing out? It looks like they like to explore though. We gotta get them new water and new food. Man, they just get so messy as they get older. Not nearly as bad as ducklings, but still messy nonetheless. They jump up here and just poop everywhere. But yeah, let's get you guys some more food and water. I have got to get the chicks out there soon, probably in the next week. Put them out to the pasture in a chicken tractor because I have some quail that are going to be hatching soon, and I will need to move them out here. And I'm gonna have to put them, because I have about 36 eggs in there. I'm hoping that, you know, about 25 or 30 are going to hatch. And so I'm gonna have to move them out here where the chicks are at in the water tank, unless I get the fish out before that. Because if whichever one I get out first, because I can use the tank that the fish are in, and that would work just fine for them. So yeah, whichever one I get emptied first, but it's gonna have to happen soon. Okay, if there's one thing that I must suggest to you, is when you are buying things for your animals, make sure that it is metal and not plastic, because plastic breaks very easily, especially when it gets cold. And I've loved having this thing. It's lasted way longer than anything plastic I've ever had. So make sure that you have metal things for your animals and not plastic, unless it's a very, very durable plastic, or if you need it for a particular reason. It'll be nice to get them out of here too, because they just keep slipping over that, and yeah, they do that too. Going crazy. Alright guys, we gotta put you back in. I don't know how you got out, but I think there might be a hole over on this side. We'll figure it out. Let's get you put back in. I'm not seeing a hole or anything anywhere, so I have no clue how they got out, but all I know is that we need to replace their water right now. Or not necessarily replace it, just dump it out. I'd much rather dump out dirt than those wood chips in there. It's way easier to dump out. All right. Okay, we're gonna feed the quail now. So these quail that I have that I have separated. Two of them were being aggressive. They're all from the same cage, and yeah, two were just being aggressive and one was injured. But they seem to be doing really good in here, and they're laying eggs. And I built these I have some little containers in there that have dirt in them for sand baths, and they really enjoy those. Yeah, so I get about 2 or 3 eggs a day from these guys. Let's see if she's got one. Oh, she got hers real messy in there. No, I'm not seeing any eggs. That's all right. Yeah, let's replace their water. I do have an automatic waterer in here, but for some reason it does not work when it comes to these. I actually think it's because, oh, maybe it does. Maybe I should try to see how it works. I think it might be a little too high for them, but I don't know. Doing this right now isn't too bad, and yeah, let's put some water in there. There we go. Happy? Good. Okay, I've got to go out and check on the other quail, but first, let's look at the herb house. It is a mess in here, but things are growing, so let me show you a little bit what it looks like. It needs to be swept really bad. I actually was able to clip a lot of stuff down and get all the dead stuff out. So we've got some chives right here. This is rosemary, thyme, goji berry. This thing gets ginormous. It's gonna get so big this year. And then we got some comfrey right here. So but we're gonna be planting. We're gonna be planting some basil and some oregano, and I think some more rosemary. So yeah, I'm excited for that. We love herbs in our family, so that will be nice. But let's go check on the other quail. This is the pond. It's disgusting right now. That's because it's been over winter and fall, and I just gotta scoop that all out and put the fish in there. But I'm gonna do that on a warm day, and that's probably not gonna be done for the next week or two because we're just gonna be in the 50s for the next while. But how you guys doing? How you guys doing, huh? I got this new bedding for them because the store that I normally buy my rosebud bedding was out of it. So this is just very like super, it's called just like mini flakes, like the America's Choice mini flakes, and they like them. I think they do pretty good. They don't last as long as the other ones do. They soak up like really quick and just kind of clump together and make a mess. I mean, I don't mind it, but I do prefer the rosebud bedding over this stuff. But you know, it's getting me through the time that I need it. So I have not been getting too many eggs from my quail because it's been really cold the past few days. It's actually snowed in the past week. I get a couple a day, but not too many, and it was way too hot in the greenhouse. It was getting really warm in there, and around like 110 degrees, I kid you not. And so it was way too hot in there for them to lay any eggs. And so I moved them out here into our gazebo, and it's got a netting around it that breaks the wind pretty well. And let's see, we got any eggs in here? We got one. There's one egg. Do you have any down in there? Oh, look, there's one. I've got a female in here that likes to attack me. I don't know where she is, but maybe it's not in here. Maybe it's in a different one. Any more? Looks like we just got 2 out of this one. One day I got like 8 of them, and there's only like 5 or 6 females in there. But anyways, yeah, I think they really like it out here. And as soon as it starts to warm up and gets in the 60s and the 70s, they're going to be laying every single day, and I'm going to be getting tons of quail eggs. And I've got 36 quail eggs that are in the incubator. And those, man, I hope I get at least half or more females so that I can be getting a lot more eggs. So we love those quail eggs. We love them. But anyways, let's feed and water them. Okay. You know, it's been really cold in the past week or two, and we've had snow and rain, and I mean, it's April, right? So that makes sense. I mean, the rain does. I mean, we get snow, you know. I'm good with the snow. Honestly, I don't mind it because I know that we need the moisture to be able to have a good summer, and you know, but there are a lot of people that have been complaining about the snow and the rain and the cold weather. And that doesn't make me very happy because last year we very nearly had a pretty bad drought. And this year could potentially be worse because of the lack of moisture that we had last year. And so we need as much as we can get. And we didn't get a big snowfall. And the mountains don't have a whole lot, but in the past week or two we've gotten a good amount. And if it keeps up like this, which I've been looking at the forecast, and it does indicate that we are going to get more moisture in the next 10 days. And it's going to be, you know, I think we're going to be in a lot better position if, you know, for the harvest and for the crops and everything this year, if we have more moisture. I mean, obviously. And so don't complain if you're getting moisture, because unless you live in a place where you get a lot, but I don't really think you could get too much. Obviously you have extreme cases, but don't complain, because you know, you should be thanking God for it, because especially in places like Idaho where it's a desert and rain is very crucial, because we are a farming community here, especially where I'm at, and it is very important that we get that moisture to be able to bring in those crops and have a high yield. So, yeah, what do you think? She's just sitting over there. But yeah, we've also got a backyard that we've got to clean up. But first, let's go out to the pasture and see how all the animals are doing out there. Here are the quail eggs. Looks like we've got 12 days left. We're on day 12. Super exciting. Quail chicks are so fun to have. All right, made it out to the pasture. Everybody's wanting some food. So first we gotta feed the sheep, and I've gotta get some hay out for them. We've got some grass growing in the back pasture, and I moved Mama and the daughter in the back pasture, and the ram is in the bigger pasture, because I wanted them to eat the grass, because he wasn't. He was just walking the fence all day because he's been lonely. Everybody is so ready for food. Not me. You guys are ready for food? Looks like it's getting a little more green, and the grass has grown a little bit more ever since I moved them back there, because they were just, hey, don't attack me. They were just devouring all the grass that was here. You are a meanie. Okay, we'll put a little bit of hay over there. They don't need as much because they still got a good amount of grass back there they can eat. I don't know how much time Mama has left. Let's get this hay separated. I don't know how much time she's got left, but she is getting really, really close, and her udder is like really big. Oh, here it comes. Are you gonna headbutt me? Okay, here you guys go. He's mean. I did like having him in the back pasture because I didn't have to go back there for nearly anything, and so he never headbutt me. But he does that, he's mean. So, let's get some food to the chickens and the ducks. First, I've got to get him some pellets so he will stop being so mean. Don't stop headbutting me. Okay, we're getting him some pellets. He just likes to barge his way in here. Okay. Oh, I am like out. Here we go. I am out of pellets almost completely. A little bit more. Keep you distracted for a couple minutes so I can feed these guys. This is whole grain. I have yet to ferment it or sprout it. It's been too cold. Everything would freeze if I tried to ferment it or sprout it. You know what? We're just gonna dump it on the ground. They'll eat it the same way. Normally I use that for the scrap bucket, like the food scraps that we take out of our kitchen. But they're good at the grains just being on the ground. I'm working on filling up the pool, but half of it's going out, so let's fix that. Well, maybe it'll stop in a second. Okay, there, we're gonna let that sit. I'm gonna go collect the eggs. And hopefully my ram will not attack me, or my rooster. They want some mealworms. I'm gonna grab them some mealworms. They go crazy over this stuff. Let me show you what projects we've got that I've got going on, or what projects I have to finish. So first of all, got all these branches right here that I'm either gonna move out and take to the dump, or I'm gonna send them through a wood chipper because I want to use them and not waste them. We've got this whole pile, and then we've got a pile back there. I don't know if you can see that. And then this, I'm trying to decide what to do with this. I think we might actually move it out and put it somewhere else. I'm gonna take down the sheep shelter. It's a giant tarp that I hurried and threw up right before winter. And I think I'm gonna section off another part of this pasture to see if I can do a little bit better rotational grazing. I don't know how well it's gonna work, but I definitely need to get some chicken tractors and either build them myself. I don't know if I'll have time to build them right now. I might just have to buy them if I can find some that are not super expensive, so that I can section off all the ducks and the chickens and have them only in one place, because they're kind of destroying certain parts of the ground, mostly along the fence. It's just there's like nothing growing there now because they've scratched the heck out of it. And so it'll be nice to have them sectioned off and have other, have everything regrow in certain areas. So we'll do that. But yeah, we've got lots of projects going on. I've got to trim all the trees. These are just like really overgrown, so I've got to take off like all the lower branches. That right there is just a dead tree that's leaning up against this one. I've got to do that with all these trees. And look, the willow is starting to leaf out. That's nice. But yeah, we are going to get all these projects done eventually, and Mama is going to give birth soon, probably in the next week. And then after that, I got to trim all their hooves again, and then we've got to shear them. Those are going to be some fun videos. I'm excited to see how that's done. I'm actually going to have somebody come and shear them for me because I don't want to ruin their fleece. ruin the fleece on each one of them, and I want them to look nice. So I'm gonna see how he does it first, and maybe I'll try to do it myself next time, but I don't know, we'll see. All right, guys, I decided that I am going to actually move the fish into the pond today. And so I've got to go get the shop vac and vacuum all the water out of the pond. And then I have to go into town and grab a new pond pump and pond filter because the one that I was using last year broke. And so I've got to go get one of those and then we can move the fish in. All right, so I'm kind of on a time frame here. I've got to get this all done in probably just a few hours because we are going to have a lightning storm starting at around 2 or 3 p.m. And so I've got to get this all done and hopefully we can. The wind's going to pick up at 12 too. So, hey, can you stop? So yeah, let's plug this in and let's just start to get all this water out of the pond. Thankfully, this hose is long because I was able to plug the shop vac into the gazebo, but the cord is not long at all. It's really short, and I didn't want to have to go get an extension cord, but this hose is definitely long enough that it'll reach all the way to the pond. Another thing that I have to do is I've got to trim these trees as well because they are way too low and they're just kind of wild. This is actually a choke cherry tree right here, and it gives us some really good cherries every single year. So yeah, this one has got to be trimmed. It's pretty bad and I just keep snagging my hair on it. Oh, that smells so bad.
Out from the other side, you held my hand, you watched me fly. Oh, 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 oh. A golden voice said to me, try to stand, don't try to flee. Oh, oh, oh. I'll wait for another day. Moonshine through the trees that grew without their leaves. Oh, 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 oh. You said you'll find you were all okay. I said goodbye.
Alright, so I got the shop vac and a little bucket down here that I'm going to put the fish in. And this is a really small net and I'm going to attempt to catch them with it, but I've got to suck water out of that first because it's really dark and I can't see nothing. So let's suck the water out and then I'm just going to see if I can try to get them with the net. If I can't, then I'm going to try to suck them in with a bucket. So let's see how it goes. Okay, I can finally see them now at the top of the water, enough that I can try to catch them. So I've got a bucket of clean water waiting to put them in. So let's just see if we can catch them. This is probably going to be harder than I think. Okay, I got all of them in the bucket, and now all I have left to do is dump them in the pond, and then I probably won't be able to put the pond filter, since I haven't gone and gotten it yet. Probably won't be able to put that in until later today, tomorrow, or Monday. So, yeah, let's just put them in and watch them swim around. I'm sure you're probably wondering why I just put them in there or didn't like gradually introduce them to the water. I've been doing this for a couple years now. This is actually the second winter that I've gone through with these goldfish and they do just fine with me just putting them in and out. I've never had any issues, and I mean, you know, if one or two die, it's not that big of a deal. Of course I don't want that to happen, but the water they were in before was pretty cold as well. And they just, yeah, they do really good if I just immediately put them in there. So, yeah, that's probably the end of this video. And I got things done today that I needed to get done, so that's good. But yeah, we will see you later.